our friend Al Nip from Maui.
Hello everyone. My name is Al Nip, and first I want to thank Mark Kahalekulu and Chris Kennison for backing me up. And this is our rehearsal. But I'm from Lahaina on the island of Maui, and I'm a farmer, a surfer, a musician. So you know what that means. I'm totally broke. There's no money in any of that. So, but I do have a CD for sale, and two of the better players on steel players on Maui are on it. That's Mr. Jerry Valdriz, who's in Japan now on tour, and Mr. Kahala Greg. So they're the steel players on that, and I'm normally a slack key player, but because this is a steel conference, I figured I might as well try and play steel. So this is my effort, and hopefully you guys like it. We're gonna start a song. Oops.
Oh, ukulele. Oh, steel.
We're gonna start with a song that I learned many years ago while I was in college. I had a really good classmate, Holua Stender, who actually became the headmaster of Kamehameha schools on Hawaii Island. And on one of my other good friends, Dean Lum, who gained fame by playing with Nakolohe, with Frank De Lima. We all played together, and one day Holua brought a new music for us to play. And I go, wow, this is the most beautiful song that I've heard. So he at that time this song wasn't even popular, but he told me, you know what? If you like play this song, you gotta call the composer and ask for permission to play the song. So which I did. So when I was back in Maui, I called up the composer, Mr. John Kaina, or who I thought the composer was. And I talked to him about it, and he said, oh, I'm not the composer to this song. It was my auntie, Catherine Kewalo. She composed this song. So the song goes something like this. He aloha no koali, which means beloved koali. Ikanalu ha'i mai o Kanewai. And you can hear the waves out at Kanewai. Mena lipoa pa ka'ala, which is the smell of the lipoa, the fragrant smell of the lipoa. And if you don't know what lipoa is, it's a form of limu, L-I-M-U. You guys know what limu is? It's our Hawaiian word for seaweed. And it's one of the most fragrant seaweeds. In other words, to some of you it might be smelly, but for most of us, it's one of the most delicious things to put in our raw foods. Like we, as you know, probably by today, because poke has become so well known here on the continent, that you know, we put limu in our ahi poke, and our other raw fishes that we eat. We eat a lot of different raw fish. So this song's composed by Catherine Kewalo. Nani no o koali. Hope you like it. T-O-G. 2, 3, 4. Aloha no koali, sanalu ha'i mai o Kanewai, mena lipoa pa ka'ala, haluana melekea. Aloha no koali, sanalu ha'i mai o Kanewai, mena lipoa ka'ala, haluana melekea. le rose, I ka le lau ke kiwa, ka iwa ko la hae wale ai, kila kila I ka la. Ka holu na pe o ka lapu o ka niu, o ka welo haʻaheo, ai Hawaii, kila kila I ka la. Nani wai no I ta e u o ke kai, ka holu na pe o ka lapu o ka niu, o ka welo haʻaheo, ai Hawaii, kila kila I ka la. Ia mai ana ka puana, saralu haʻi mai o ka ne mai, mena li o a pākala, aluala mele ke rā. Aina ia mai ana ka puana, I saralu haʻi mai o ka ne mai, mena li o written by Lili Uokalani, and as most of you know, in 1893, our Hawaiian monarchy was overthrown by some American businessmen who thought they could do a better job of ruling Hawaii. But by 1895, Lili'u was imprisoned in the Iolani Palace, and she would receive flowers from Mr. Johnny Wilson, who later on became mayor of Honolulu. So he would bring her flowers wrapped in newspapers from her gardens in Kalani, which is her home in Waikiki. And you know, in old Hawaii, we all gave our homes names, yeah, Hawaiian names. So she Kalani was the name of her beautiful estate in Waikiki, when Waikiki was just a swamp, duck ponds and taro patches, which was, you know, what we would love to see today. Unfortunately, it's all built up now. But anyway, she used to receive flowers from Mr. Wilson, or Johnny Wilson, and he would wrap them in newspapers and take them to her from her gardens at Kalani, and also from Uluhaima Lama, which was her gardens up in Nu'uanu Valley. And that was how our queen kept up with the news of the day, by the newspapers that she received wrapped around the flowers. So this song, Ku'ui Paua Kalani, was written while she was imprisoned at Iolani Palace. Eka gentle breeze upon my head, Eka the alina, my ana, yaku, Eku sweet and never fading fire, Iru ni kauka, ni o na mua o kauka o uluhai malama Well, you can see why I wanted to play first in that one. But I'm gonna ask my beautiful kuipo, Hawanu, to come up and help me with this song, even if she's not dressed, because she just came in from Maui this morning as Lake Mark. He was working last night, so he just drove in this morning. And yeah, I want to thank them for coming. And I also want to introduce my daughter, Kyla. She goes to Colorado State. She's also quite an accomplished hula dancer. But I never asked her to practice, so she hasn't danced since we went on a Japan tour a couple years ago. So, was that 3 years already? So, but anyway. This song's written by Auntie Irmgard Farden-Aluli, who had a beautiful home in Lahaina town on Front Street. And the home overlooked Lanai and the mountains of Kahalavai. And when the mahina, the moon especially set over the island of Lanai, it was a beautiful sight. And where each of the 12 children of the Farden family planted a coconut tree in their yard, and that the house still exists on Front Street. I'm gonna do this song. I'm gonna do one solo to start, and then I'll do a couple vamps, and then yeah. But, so F, 2, 3, 4. So, this next song is written by Mr. Lonnie Sang, and he wrote this beautiful song, and I'm sure most of you know this about his daughter, whose name was Mapuana. See. kiss of sweet aloha. Aloha, I love you. Sweet dreams, Mapuana, when I'm beneath the dew, and who the palm trees sway to rhythms of the sea. The moon up in the sky whispers to the stars on high and says that you're by far as bright as any star. Sweet dreams, Mapuana, when morning meets the dew. One kiss of sweet aloha. Aloha, I love you. The moon up in the sky whispers to the stars on high and says that you're by far as bright as any star. Sweet dreams, Mapuana, when morning meets the dew. One kiss of sweet aloha. Aloha, I love you. One kiss of sweet aloha. Aloha, I love you. Mapuana. Thank you. All right, because I'm teaching a ukulele class tomorrow, and even if you're not coming, or even if you don't know have a ukulele, you can come to the class because I'll teach a couple songs that maybe you don't know, or maybe one you don't know. The other one you probably know. But if you just want to sit in, no problem, and it's for all you guys. So, but I'm gonna do one song on my ukulele. It's a medley, and the first song. Oops. Let's see. Paul, I'm plugged into the. Oh, maybe you gotta turn on. Can you hear my ukulele out there? Oh, maybe on the monitors.
Okay. There we go.
So this song's written by Ron Rocha, famous Peter Moon, and Auntie Alice Namakebua. Talks about a young Hawaiian man who actually moved here to the continent to find his way in the world, but he just recently moved back to Hawaii as he found that the best place for him was in the islands of Hawaii. And as he said it, it's because I am Hawaiian. A song called He Hawaii'au. And I want to thank Chris Kennison over here and Mark Kahalekulu for playing with me. Mahalo, guys. I really appreciate it. Otherwise, I would have to do solo. And I also want to thank my daughter for coming this morning before she got to go back to school as one of the researchers in the college, Colorado State, across the street. And my beautiful wife, Hawanu. A song called He Hawaii'au. mai e ai e hea ke kanaka e komo mahaloko e hana e ai e hewa e kawa i ano hauku o ka leo ai no ke amua e hea me ia o e komo maloko e hana ia o e ai noa kena i ka puke mon i ano ka pane a ke aloha Back to sea. Mahalo, aloha, God bless. Yeah. If you guys are interested in our music, have a